How's it going, everybody? And welcome back to our Enterprise Practice Lab. We're going to be taking a look at setting up ISP2, like we discussed in the end of the previous video, and we're going to go ahead and get that knocked out. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the operations. So what essentially we're going to do is set up OSPF like we did in ISP1. We're going to form a full mesh of iBGP peerings between the loopbacks. And if we need to redistribute, we'll take a look at this. This will be done a little bit later. We're going to advertise all connected interfaces into BGP. And then once we get ISP3 set up, which will be a little bit more involved, we're going to go through and do get the customer connections in the ISP 1 and 3 connections online. So we're going to focus on tasks 1 through 3 here and task 1 here. So without any further ado, let's dive in. So we're going to be doing this on CSR 39, 40, and Nexus 9K 74 and 75. So we're going to jump over here. So 39. And we're going to do a router OSPF 1. And I'm using OSPF everywhere in the service provider network because that's usually what they'll do. And there's really only 2 routing protocols in the enterprise track, EIGRP, OSPF, or IGPs. And then we're going to get a healthy dose of BGP here in a little bit. Type in router ID. Here's going to be 2.0.0.39. And I'm going to type in interface gig 1 through gig 1, IP router OSPF 1. Or sorry, IP OSPF 1 area 0. I am so used to working at Nexus that I throw that in every once in a while. So interface gig 5. Same thing, and the interface loopback 0, same thing. So I'm going to basically do the same config on CSR 40. Router OSPF 1, router ID is going to be 2.0.0.40, and then we're going to do interface gig 1, IP OSPF 1, area 0, interface gig 5, same command, interface loopback 0, same thing. And then we should form an adjacency over that link here momentarily once the connection comes online. And the hellos go out and all that good stuff that goes along with it. So while we wait for that, I'm going to jump over to 74 and 75. And I'm going to log in as admin and admin. I'm going to go up here and type in feature OSPF. So basically it's telling me that I need a license for those capabilities. I need advanced LAN enterprise services package 39 to 40. The adjacency just came up. Going back to 74, I'm going to type in feature BGP. Perfect. Okay, so now I get to go do router OSPF 1. Router ID of 2.0.0.74, and I'm going to type in interface ETH 1/1 through 2, IP router OSPF 1 area 0, interface loopback 0, just like that. And so we should form an adjacency here just momentarily. I'm going to jump over to 75 and do the exact same thing. Feature OSPF and feature BGP. Router OSPF 1, router ID of 2.0.0.75, and then we're going to go to interface ETH 1/1 through 2, IP router OSPF 1 area 0, interface loopback 0. There we go. So actually, let me do a couple more things. We're going to do router. Well, it's a little late now for it, but we can see 39 and 40 both have adjacencies. So if I type in do show IP route, I'm going to be learning some routes. So 39, 40, 74, and 75 are being learned. And I have the connected interfaces squared away. So one of the reasons why we're doing the BGP configuration the way that we are is because the Nexus switches don't support route reflection. So that's not something that they support, at least not that I can see. So we're just going to do a basic full mesh connection here. So just get 39 to 40, 39 to 75, 39 to 74, etc., etc. Get those connections. Excuse me. Get all those connections online, and we'll be in good shape to be able to propagate. Technically speaking, we really only need 74 to 75 and 74 to 39. But in the spirit of full mesh, I'm going to go ahead and connect 74 to 40 as well. It'll take a few minutes to config, and the few extra minutes isn't going to hurt anything to do the connect. But it does say form a full mesh of iBGP peerings between the loopbacks. So following the task as it says. So we're going to start on 39 and work our way around. So on 39, I'm going to go to router BGP 2. I'm going to type in no BGP default IPv4. I'm going to type in neighbor. I'm going to show you the long way of doing it and not optimizing the config. So neighbor of 2.0.0.40, remote AS of 2, update source of loopback 0. I'm going to do 74. And then we'll do 75. Oops, a little bit too big on that one. And one more. 75. The address family IPv4 unicast. And then I'm going to go and this guy here, I'm going to type in activate. And then we'll do 74 and then 75. Just like that. That's essentially the config that we're going to be doing in here. So do show run section BGP. It's pretty straightforward. So I'm going to take Notepad here, since we're on the spirit of getting everything configured this way. I'm going to go ahead and copy this config here. I'm going to make a small change and make this 39. This is where that CCIE pro tip thing comes into play on how you can optimize your config. Grab all that, jump over to 40, dump that config in. Okay, there it goes. So that's done. Now the next thing will be go over to 74 and basically do the same exact thing. So router BGP 2, and I'm gonna get the config built and I'll just copy and paste it over. It's gonna be neighbor. I'm sorry, address family IPv4 unicast first and foremost. I'm going to do a neighbor statement to 2.0.0.39, remote AS of 2, update source loopback 0, and then I'm going to do address family IPv4 unicast, and that's pretty much all I have to do. So then I just have to go up here a couple times, exit out of the address family. We'll do to 40. Just like that. And then we'll do, so we did 39, we did 40. I need to do 75. So I'm going to do show run BGP and get that peering up and running. And now I just need to make an adjustment on this guy to be 74. Go to 75, and we can see 39 and 40 are both up. 75, we're just going to go ahead and copy and paste the config in like so. And we should find BGP peerings here momentarily on 39 and 40. So we do a show BGP IPv4 unicast summary. I have a bunch of BGP peerings set up. It's a full mesh. And that's pretty much it. We really don't need to do anything else from that perspective. On 39 and 40, I just need to take these local subnets, and it says advertise all connected interfaces into BGP. So for 39, I'll just go ahead and do it. I'll set up network statements. You don't have to do that though, and I'll talk a little bit about provider independent routing versus provider aggregated routing. But I'm going to type in address family IPv4 unicast, and I'm going to do show IP interface brief 39. I've got 4, 2, and 3. So on 2, so we're going to do a network of 2.39.0.0 mask of /24. Then we're going to have 3, which is going to be 3 is 34.39.0. And then we're going to do 4, which is going to be 12.17.39. Just like that. So that we're doing network statements for all of that type of stuff. Now if I jump over to CSR 40 and I do show BGP IPv4 unicast, I'm going to see routes coming in from .39 as the next hop. So I set my source by setting the source. My update source is loopback 0. That automatically handles any iBGP routes. So the only time we might run into problems is when we do any eBGP learned connectivity, and we might have to do next hop self. So we'll come back to that here in just a minute. Well, later on. So the 40 will basically be the same thing. So on 40, address family IPv4 unicast, and we're going to do our connected networks. I'm going to do network of 23.30.40.0 mask /24. Network of 2.40.35.0 mask /24 and 36. Just like that. Now we go over to 39 and do show BGP IPv4 unicast. Momentarily I should start seeing those routes come in, which I already have started seeing them come in. I see the 2330. So usually it takes about a minute for route propagation because you have to send to keep alive. And then there's a BGP scan time. It's an every minute thing. So after about a minute, we'll start to see how the traffic comes through. Should be any second now when the propagation comes through. And we'll see the additional networks coming through. Let me check on 40. Do show BGP IPv4 unicast. Okay, so they're... Do I not have them configured yet? Do show IP interface brief. Oh, they're there, for sure. Okay, so for whatever reason, those networks are not propagating locally. The network statements do show run pipe section BGP. 40, yeah, they're definitely attached routes. 35, 36. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I see. I got them backwards. That's what the problem is. 35. So here their setup is 40, 36. So let me go ahead and update that real quick. So let me go ahead and make an adjustment on that. So that's going to be 35, 40. Because I usually do the lower octet first. So 36 and 40. Okay, so I just need to update my configuration here. So the network statements are actually incorrect, which is no big deal. I can go ahead and make a quick adjustment. So no, this guy, and this will be 35.40. So let's do, and we're going to do no 36. Pull that out and we'll do a 36.40. just like that. So do show BGP IPv4 unicast. Now they're showing up. And if I go to 39, hit the up arrow, now I see them propagating. So if you don't see them propagating, you probably have a network statement mismatch. So, okay, so let's go over to 74 and 75 and get that configuration done. So show IP interface brief. We're going to be advertising all the local subnets in. So I'm going to type in here. Now I had to get out from underneath the neighbor and go underneath the address family IPv4 unicast globally under BGP. So it's going to be show run BGP. You want to be at this level right here, right? Now you don't want to be down here because that's going to be per neighbor specific configuration. You want to be global BGP IPv4 unicast. So in this case here, it's going to be network, and then we're going to do 239.74. So 2.39.74. Sorry, no, not that one. 231.74.0/24. And that's it. That's the only connected subnet we have. So now if we go over to show BGP IPv4 unicast, we should see that route in the routing table. So 231, which is what we typed in, and then 39, should see that come through. 231 from 74, and it does. So same thing with 75. 75 has only got one connected route, so it's going to be 236.75. So we're going to exit out of here, address family IPv4 unicast, and we're going to type in network of 2.36.75.0/24, and do we're getting routes. If we do this, we can see that the route is showing up there. And if I go over to 39, hit the up arrow, we can see the route is propagated 236.75 from 75. Okay, so that's all good to go. So now that's all squared away. So we have the full mesh connection squared away. So we've got ISP2 IGP and BGP iBGP configuration, and then the attached networks advertised into BGP. So the next stage will be ISP3, and we're going to be throwing in confederations with that one. So it's going to be a little bit more advanced, but at the end of the day, it gets the job done. So I'm going to go ahead and move forward with that config. This is a shorter video. There's not as much to configure, but believe me, we'll have plenty of additional longer videos coming as we get further along in the config. So with that being said, I want to thank everybody for stopping by and hanging out with me, and I'll catch all of you guys in the following video.